Coming up, an Eastern Kentucky restaurant owner talks about the financial challenges they are facing now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYNT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Restaurants have faced a menu of challenges during the pandemic, and now they're dealing with a new setback with shortages from the supply chain. As Chad Hedrick explains, one Corbin restaurant owner is going viral talking about the price hikes and the impacts it could have the next time you go out to eat.
Local restaurants like the Wrigley Tap Room in Corbin have had to overcome many challenges the last 19 months.
It has felt like the Hunger Games in some ways.
Challenges and setbacks have forced the industry to get creative just to stay afloat.
It feels like we're in a challenge of like, what's going to break us?
And right now that challenge is from supply chain shortages, forcing prices for these products to double, even triple what they were just a year ago.
And chicken wings is up astronomically. It's almost 5 times what it used to be 12 months ago.
Kristen Smith says from ketchup to steak, there's not enough to go around, or they're not coming in on a regular basis.
Sometimes it's just like, what's going to be on the menu? It's even a surprise to us sometimes, what we're actually going to get on delivery day.
The shortages and price hikes will ultimately come down to impact your wallet. Kristen estimates you could see around a 20% increase.
But you're worried, will your customers react? How will they react?
It's why Kristen made this Facebook post that's getting hundreds of shares and comments. In it, she shows examples of price hikes and asks for understanding and support.
Some folks are saying, thank you for helping us understand the impact and the seriousness. It's a rare thing to feel heard, and it feels good to be heard.
Hoping the right ingredients mix together and help restaurants stay open.
But if you can just go with it for us, just go with us on this, just for a hair of a minute so we can push through, we'll get there together.
In Corbin, Chad Hedrick, WKYT.
A survey from the National Restaurant Association showed 44% of restaurant owners think it will be at least another 12 months before they see a return to normal business. We're starting to bundle up more as colder air moves into the region. If you find yourself turning your heat on already, Kentucky Power officials say to make sure your furnace filters are clean and your heat pumps are serviced yearly. They offer the Heart and Thaw programs for customers who are eligible and need assistance with their bills.
We have an average monthly payment plan that levels out your bill for the year so that your summer bill and your winter bill and your spring and fall bill all stay mostly the same. They fluctuate by a few dollars.
Customers are also encouraged to check those windows and floors so they're airtight so heat can stay inside of your home. Now we have a poll on our website right now asking if you have turned on the heat in your home yet. Let's take a look at those numbers. About 65% have already turned it on. 34% are waiting a little bit longer.
Count me as part of the 34%. I'm not quite doing it just yet. When the temperature in the house in the morning falls below about 50, that's when we'll start talking there for that. As for that, many of us, as we head into tonight, may not even see the air temperature outside fall below 50. I-64 camera at Moorhead, kind of in the distance there. After a beautiful day today, you saw the harvest moon rising there in the distance. I-75 at Mount Vernon, another similarly calm evening on the interstate there. Highs today got up into the low 70s in most spots. Look at Monticello, just a hair away from the mid 70s at 74. Even our usual cool spot, a little mild today. Wise at 66. They're sitting at 52 right now. Even some cooler spots than that. Harlan's at 51. Jonesville's at 50. So some locations, though, still rocking those 60s at this hour. Satellite and radar, a clean sweep in terms of rainfall, but you notice it's not too far away. So for tonight, middle 60s for most. Clouds on the increase, though, as we continue to see our next system move closer. I'll have the details on just when it looks to move in coming up in just a bit. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Laurel County Sheriff's deputies arrested a London man Wednesday wanted in connection with a shooting that injured a man in March. Back in March, deputies say Ernest L. Goforth and Denver Napier got into a fight with another man just off Fisherman's Cove Road that ended with the man shot in the arm. Napier was arrested at the time, but Goforth escaped. Deputies with the Sheriff's Department were able to get information on Goforth's location and found him this morning at a house off Hawk Ridge Road on R. Shell Circle. Goforth was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. A Salyersville City Council member says he does not plan to resign after using a racial slur. Councilman Colin Ray Jackson was heard on camera using the slur while discussing city business during a council meeting. The video has been widely shared on social media. Several city and county officials have reacted, and Mayor Pete Shepard has requested Jackson's resignation by October 21st at noon.
We're trying to be at unity, trying to be together, trying to work for the best thing we can do for the cities and counties and the state, and there's no place for that.
Mayor Shepard said that if Jackson does not resign by the noon deadline, that he will call for a special session to have him removed. Jackson told us he is not a racist and regrets what he said. Early this morning, first responders responded to a drive-by thank you parade as Pikeville Medical Center thanked some of its heroes. In August, 30 Kentucky National Guard soldiers were deployed to PMC to assist the staff and faculty in the hospital during the recent COVID-19 surge. Many of the soldiers say PMC was a wonderful host, and the friendly faces of faculty, staff, and hospital visitors made each day a good one.
I was hesitant at first. I was like, I just started a new job recently. I was like, I don't really want to leave. But then I was like, what do I have to lose? So, and I couldn't be happier that I chose to do so.
Lieutenant Imani says many of the soldiers explored Pikeville and the surrounding areas during their off time and always found interesting things to keep them busy. Chasing an Olympic dream is now a reality for one Eastern Kentuckian. WYMT's Corey Sanning caught up with this London native to see what led him to trade his running shoes for bobsled.
London native and athlete Austin Hayes has always dreamed big. After running track and field at South Laurel, Hayes ended up transitioning from a summer sport to one found at the Winter Games.
I knew I was going to go in something, did some research, landed on bobsled. Was invited out to a rookie camp, transitioned over to the sport skeleton, and actually ended up winning the rookie camp championships as a rookie.
Hayes continued to chase his Olympic dream, even as his money ran low.
You have the nutrition, the supplements, the rehabilitation, the equipment, all that extra stuff as well. So to try and get sponsorships has been a bit of a challenge. To get supported for a sport that has its own little niche.
Thankful for the support from his hometown as he looks for sponsors to keep his goals on track.
Even when I was in high school and I was a senior in high school trying to go to the Olympics in track and field, the support then was even crazy to have that support as a high schooler. Now to be in the position I'm in to still have that support, it's just unbelievable.
His next step will be in Utah next week for another training camp. Looking ahead to the next stage.
I think in December they're having a North American Cup that I'm hoping to compete in. And then obviously the big goal is to go to the Olympics. If not in Beijing in February, then 2026 in Milan.
Hoping to represent Eastern Kentucky as he works towards the finish line he set for himself all those years ago. To maybe one day bring Olympic gold to the mountains. Corey Sanning, WYMT Mountain News.
Hayes credits his love for both summer and winter sports on his mountain roots. Governor Andy Beshear and Ohio Governor Mike DeWine are teaming up on Friday in Cincinnati to pitch Cincy's bid to host the 2026 World Cup. They'll be meeting with U.S. and international soccer officials and touring Paul Brown Stadium, where the Bengals play. TQL Stadium, where FC Cincinnati plays, does not meet the capacity requirements to host World Cup level events. FIFA is expected to expand its field of teams to 48 in 2026, which would be the largest field in the tournament's history. Thousands of Americans do not have a dentist in their county. We'll take a closer look at the problem in bridging the great health divide, state of decay.
And as we head outside, the changes in this week's forecast aren't nearly as drastic as last week's. But they are changes nonetheless. I'll have the full breakdown straight ahead.
Make